Hello, Mary, everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene, and today, of course, is the 13th of August. We're going to be having our live stream later on. But before we do, I wanted to talk to you about, well, vlog stuff. First of all, today's high is expected to be about 26 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow will be about 27. I think I said 28 after that, but I don't really have my phone right now to check it, so that's in the other room. Today we wanted to show you some things. At least I was going to show you what this camera would look like in black and white. And it turns out that is a Formax Studio FS10 never likes black and white cameras at all. Never did, never will. Sure, you can add more shims between you and the camera and maybe fool it to like it, but it doesn't. One of the things, though, I wanted to talk about is something that was brought to my attention, which I can see it myself. After all, I am very color sensitive. I can see colors. You might be asking yourself, why do you got bubblegum pink walls when you got white hair and you wear cold colors? Well, I kind of like bubblegum pink because it's a relaxing, soothing color. I call it Pepto-Bismol pink. Coach says it soothes and relieves because the rate is it's been proven in psychological studies that pink, the warm color, has a nice calming effect on people. Unlike yellow, which was very common in some schools, yellow walls. Anybody who ever went to schools in the 70s and 60s know what I'm talking about. Okay? Yellow walls in places like sunshine yellow walls. Yellow is a very high energy color, and let me take this better color wheel and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. And we'll talk about what the colors are in the spectrum because this is going to prove interesting. Now, here's your yellows right here, okay? And you got your reds and your greens here, okay? These three colors, the greens, the yellows, and the reds, are in hotter colors. These colors, the purples, the blues, there's a list of them. There's this color here and this color here. These are the cooler colors. These are the ones that I can wear for clothing. So I can wear this kind of color easily. This kind of, if I can just take this color wheel and cut it in half, I can wear this kind of. This is where your electro mucus is, better known as chroma key, is in this area here. One of my green screens is a little bit over here, but anyway, the point is so colors I tend to wear because of my white hair is this right here in the, well, you can see what I'm wearing right now. It's kind of a purpley color. These colors, okay, from here to there, okay, you've seen that. It's a small subset. Oh yeah, I wear a lot of white and I wear a lot of black, and these are your tonal grays. Now, this is in color, and this video is in color, but I want to show you the difference between this in color and this in monochrome. So, I'm going to have to use Final Cut Express to do a little bit of image trickery to turn the color off, so let's do that. Okay, color's off, you can see, now let me hold up the same image again. Okay, this is where your yellow is, this is where your reds are, this is where your greens are, this is your purples, this is your blues, violets, okay, so, and these are your skin tones over here, these are your primaries, and some of your complementary colors, and of course these are the color wheels in the top here and here and here, focusing rings. Very, very interesting. So let's go back to color. Okay, now the whole point here is the use of color cameras are, of course, very common. But because because this format FS10 Studio does have heavy concern about the seeing need of the color burst signal, even though my camera is set to send the color burst, this FMLE or format FS10 will not be happy if it sees the monochrome signal. Okay? For that reason, we have to do it through software, and that's not the same thing as a real monochrome camera, like the CP or like the BW314, which only has one, for lack of a better term, let's put into the eye here, your rods, okay, of your eye. It only has rods, whereas this color camera has cones. Now, if I was to, and actually technically it has a few cone of rods, but they're not really as, what they're doing actually is they're using the rods or the cones to emulate the rods. But it's in the set for black and white mode. But it's not real black and white because you have three colors, red, green, and blue. That's what they're sensitive for. So when you monochrome them, does it only taking the blue or the green? Or is it doing a summation of all three signals and then just mixing them together and then removing the color burst? I don't know. Okay, but I know is I tried it with this camera. My camera, this software my computer got extremely belligerent about it. So, yeah. Whereas with the BP314, it only has rods in the sensor. So, it can't see color. It has no way to receive color at all. No color capability. The CP234, comparing for the same manufacturer, which is a color camera, has the ability to receive color, but cannot receive black and white. In other words, it only has color, it does not have a black and white mode. In other words, once it gets too dark in the room, guess what? The colors do weird shit. Are you sure you can't set the camera for color? Monochrome? Once it's already set, don't think so, because if I really tried it, it didn't work. So, but I can show you how it would be set if you guys are really interested to see this. So let me show you the controls on this camera, and let me put this microphone towards me so you can hear me. Now for this, I'm going to set up this demo similar to the way I did when I start videos. Okay? Now, this camera has an on-screen display. And that's cool because it makes things a lot easier. If I go to menu, you see lens, shutter, auto. That's what I set right now. Backlight off. Picture adjustment, leave that alone. Day and night, I'm going to set this to monochrome, but this might watch the camera screw up. Okay, connections here too. That doesn't help, right? Alright, so if I set this to mono, that's what it would look like. But I don't know if it's going to stay running, but that's what it would look like in mono. So let me see if this is actually showing up in the video. But that's problematic, and that never works well for me. So I'm going to set that back to color. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of the gist of how that works. Now, that's the one saving grace of UVC, because the UVC dongle does not seem to particularly care if it's color or monochrome. The UVC dongle happily accepts color, happily accepts black and white, happily accepts anything I can throw at it. Even though it does terrible things to the picture, it's still looks pretty good. By the way, this adapter is still holding up very well, despite the rough abuse it's been getting. Dory wanted to use this to listen to her videos, and it works fine. The headphones, because they are vintage, these things have issues of their own. The first thing is that some of the logos on the headphones kind of came off. You see it says right and left. It's really not... I like them tighter than that, but unfortunately I didn't get in that way, so they're a little snug. But I guess it's better than nothing at all. So anyway, to make a long story short, this is how it looks when you have it. If it successfully recorded that demo. I don't know if it did or not. I can't tell. I'll have to watch the tape and see what it did. In the monochrome mode, that's the hardware-based monochrome, whereas before it was software-based. So that's the difference. How does it affect the color wheel? Well, I don't really know. I noticed I didn't actually have any motion on the screen at the time, because every time you try to do motion, the camera sort of kind of, in some cases, will drop frames like there's no tomorrow. Especially if I plug the BP314 in there in this video capture device, you can't see the picture. You really can't. You might see, if you're lucky, a frame every 3 minutes as it tries to retrain for the lack of color. But this, works. I want to know in this comment section, this is where you come in, which do you like better and why? If you like the black and white, why do you like the black and white? If you like the color, why do you like the color? Do you like it when I kind of alternate between the two? I'll tell you my opinion, and I'm going to be honest here. I like the black and white look because it's simplifies things immensely. You're probably going to be asking me a very valid question, which I'm going to answer in a second. I like the black and white look. I like it. I think it looks good. It simplifies things. There's no color casting. There's no worrying about white balance or lights. It's just simplifies things. Okay, now here's a question that's going to come up. If you use black and white, how can you do chroma key? Well, there's a couple ways. Forget color, forget chroma key. If you're using a real black and white camera like the BP314, you got to use luma key. That means it's based on light levels. So if you have a certain shade of clothing or backdrop that doesn't match anything else, remember, you only got about 64 shades of gray, about 64 shades of gray. I've heard some people say there's more, but honestly, I've looked at, when I was doing my comic strips, the palette of 256 shades of gray is pretty expansive. And I suppose a good quality camera with wide dynamic range or high dynamic range can certainly do 256 shades gray. But honestly, for most people, they really wouldn't notice that when you're looking at a black and white TV. You just kind of see a few shades of gray. Usually about as many as 8 to 16, really. Of course, we're dealing with analog, so it's not exactly in units. It's a continuing variation from pure bright white to dark as night, or darker than night. So that it has a whole ton of tonal gradients in between. But color's the same way. Of course, color's got 3 guns, red, green, blue, and they all work together to make a color picture. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's using a Satacom pickup tube or if it's using a CCD and CMOS sensor. It's the same general gist of how color works. So, okay, so how do you do chroma? So if you are using a Final Cut Express to turn color to black and white, you can still do chroma key like you would do normally. You would just record the video normally, and then you would then go ahead and post-production, you would turn off the colors or turn off the saturation, and you have a black and white picture. So your audience would never notice the damn difference. Except, and this is an issue. I know this definitely affects my video if you put it into Final Cut Express. If you're going to do chroma key and then you're going to turn to monochrome when editing the video clip, what's going to happen is the whole rules of the game change. So now you're actually doing a Lumi key. So now you have to figure out what the Lumi key is going to be, because it changes the chroma key to a Lumi key, because you're not doing color anymore. So in some programs you can do it without too much of a hassle. One way is to, in post-production, say using the MPEG stream clip like I usually use to encode these videos, go into MPEG stream clip and turn the color saturation to 0, and then use a monochrome video. And then that simplifies everybody's needs. It simplifies the chroma key producers, because they're still doing chroma key. And then of course we sold us a monochrome video with a proper look that you want, if there's a vintage type look you want. And that by satellite is not going to do much good for live streaming. Okay, seriously. Why? Well, there's two reasons why. I might as well bring them up. Unfortunately, she ripped the page in half, so I can't read it all. The first reason why it won't do much good is because there's a latency issue with the satellite, okay? It takes time for the satellite signal to get up there to space, then it has to get bounced down to its receiving station, and then it's got to go through the fiber to, YouTube. And then likewise, the same thing in reverse. When you're sending a video from YouTube, it goes through the fiber, goes to the base station, bounces off the satellite, then bounces back down to me. Also, the second thing is the cost. Depending on HughesNet, they probably are going to charge about $100 a package, and you're not going to get the kind of speed that you really want. Okay, same thing with Starband, same thing with other satellite internet packages. If you're in the middle of nowhere, okay, then you don't really have a choice. Okay, like if you're like in, say, Barrow, Alaska, yeah, you can get internet by satellite. Because what else are you going to do? You can get internet from the cable company, right? Yeah. Except, I looked at the speeds of this internet cable company, the cable TV program providers in Barrow, Alaska. The speeds are terrible. On my DSL? DSL? You want to talk about DSL? I got DSL. It makes my DSL look like basically like a speed demon. You're talking about 200... At best, 256 megabits per second up. What? You think it's bad enough now doing videos on only 1.5 megabits per second up? Now imagine you trying to do a video on 256 kilobits per second up. Oh my God. Now, what about the T-Mobile? I'm sorry, Jim, but that can't do that. There is no internet. T-Mobile does not exist in Barrow, Alaska. AT&T doesn't even exist anymore. They used to, although they're gone too. So if you ever go to Barrow, Alaska, all those options that I can take advantage of here in Winston do not exist. There is no any real benefit to say, well, I can go out there in Barrow, Alaska, I'll have high-speed internet. Bullshit, you will. Maybe in Anchorage, but in maybe in Fairbanks, but out in Barrow, no. Keep your little dream alive. It ain't gonna happen. Not because it's too expensive for one thing. It's just too expensive to do. the system it takes a lot of work to do. There's a lot of backhaul. There's a lot of stuff that goes on to give you high-speed internet. And when you're on the tip of the Northern American continent, the northernmost city of the United States, of Alaska, the only reason why they have anything out there is because there's a military base out there called Point Barrow. Okay, that's the reason for the military, for the people who work in the military, so they can at least stay in contact with friends and family. Otherwise, they probably, you can bet AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, GCS, are not going to want to waste their time running fiber and towers just to satisfy a population of about 5,000. Okay? Not going to happen. It's just too expensive. On the other hand, Winston's about the population of Barrow, Alaska. Really? Except one thing. We're in the lower 48. And we also are on a major highway. And the infrastructure already is here. So it was easy enough to send out the DSL and the cable company and all that. But trust me, what would be the best? If I had to choose internet again? What would be my first choices? My choices and preference, and I'll explain why. The DSL is my first choice. T-Mobile is my second choice. The cable company is my third choice. And satellite is dead last. Because I will explain why. Okay. DSL, it comes with my phone package. Okay. So I can receive phone calls as well as receive Skype calls or Google Hangout calls and stream. Okay? So I pay between that and the phone and the internet. I pay like $100 for 2 phone lines plus the internet. Okay? T-Mobile internet. It's fast, it's quick, it's good, but unfortunately it is a half duplex / simplex protocol. So which means with Wi-Fi. So what happens is that when I stream from the computer to T-Mobile's towers, then T-Mobile's towers send it through their fiber. It's one way. And then when I want to receive back, in other words, if I want to review the video as it's being uploaded, then I have to wait for a slot for the reverse to happen, so the video can come from YouTube, go to T-Mobile, then go through the error, then go down to my Wi-Fi, and then go into my computer. Okay? There's a lot of steps. Got good speed on LTE and everything, but unfortunately, if everybody's playing Pokemon Go, for example, as it did about 2 years ago, my speed was forget it. Everybody and their brother was playing Pokemon Go, and it was sucking up the LTE so bad, I was almost to the point of 3G on that phone, on the Wi-Fi, because I couldn't get a good solid, 20 megabits per second up, 20 megabits per second down. The speed was jumping up and down. Video quality was laggy and skippy, but it's, at least I can say for my home DSL is full duplex, and so because it's also doing direct wired connection through a switch, so it's all direct, it's all full duplex. So data goes out and that can go in simultaneously, and it simplifies everything. Cable is ridiculously expensive in Winston. I don't care what you think. If you think about it, they're going to tell you, and they always go, well, you have to go, it makes more sense to sign up for both the TV and the cable, or for the internet at the same time, because we sell it as a bundle. So if you only want one, only have the bundle, you're going to pay us like $55, $56 a month just for the internet. And then, of course, you got to borrow our equipment, and we have to have a guy come in to connect up the wire, make sure the existing cable TV wire is still usable, which mine probably is not, because I never used it. Then And of course, the other problem is the wire comes into this window here in the corner, and then when we have to run this to the wall, run it into the wiring closet, make sure everything's hooked up in the pantry. I have to set up their router, everything, and then I have to figure out how we're going to connect back. Then this says the terms of service say we're not allowed to share this with other people in the building. That was the reason, that was a deal breaker for me, because they couldn't tell me if that was legal or not by the terms of service. So I said, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth getting my service potentially canceled because of the fact is that somebody downstairs wants to use the internet to watch Pornhub or something else, so no. So then of course, satellite. Oh, what's wrong with this? Besides the fact is, it's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you a lot of money, a month bill. It's like $100 or something. Plus, you're actually living on the meter. Boy, that's one thing from the past I don't really want to go back to. Living on the meter. What does that mean? Means that you can only upload so much, you can only download so much, and you gotta pay if we go over overages. So you have to constantly watch the meter to make sure that you're not going over your $100 allotment. So, that's not practical. We have a lot of computers in here, and I don't really think I want to have to live on the meter. And also the latency, as I told you, is terrible. The latency of T-Mobile is pretty bad too, but that's because it's the same reason. Actually, it's a little bit different, but there's a little difference part. The HughesNet technically is bi-directional. It's full directional, okay? But there's 34,000 miles between you and the satellite, and 34,000 miles from the satellite to the base station. And that applies in both directions. So if I send something out, say for example a tweet, that tweet, which is, let's keep it simple, it's about 160 characters, okay, let's just say that's one packet. That tweet has to go out there, but then before it can do that, it has to contact the name server, okay, the DNS. The DNS is going to have to return the IP address to my computer's program to then send the tweet where it's got to go, right, to twitter.com. Well, we'll give the IP address to twitter.com. That's what it does. Then it uses either IPv4 or IPv6, sends out that packet. Then the packet goes out after it gets it's going through like 3 or 4 steps. The first thing it goes through is we don't know the actual IP address already, and I gotta query it. So I say out to the server somewhere, hey, I need to know the IP address for www.twitter.com. So this first thing it does is so the request goes out 38,400 miles into space. Then it bounces back down to Earth at the HughesNet ground base station. Then it goes on the fiber optic, goes through the DNS name server hierarchy. Then that gets an IP address. Then it sends that back to HughesNet via the fiber optic. Then they have to re-upload that message on their transmitter to the satellite 38,400 miles in space. Then the satellite's going to repeat it back down to me. And then, once it's on my computer's IP address, then it has to send a tweet out. So it does that. So it sends the tweet with the actual address that the DNS gave it. So on it goes, 38,400 miles, down, bounces back down to space, then 38,400 miles. Then it goes onto the fiber optic to twitter.com. Okay, that's a lot of latency. And, by the way, somebody actually had an idea of this. I think it's kind of interesting. A Japanese cell phone company wants to put a mobile tower on the moon. Okay, except for one problem. We don't have anybody on the moon right now. It's a great idea for astronauts in the future that they can use their cell phones, out there and on the moon. But right now we have no one on the moon. We haven't been to the moon since about 1970s, and that's it. So that's a great idea. But the Apollo missions ended. That was the last time we were at the moon. So as far as a manned mission, Okay. Another guy says, well, we want to do the same thing eventually with Mars. Well, okay, well, Mars, I can see, right? If we, once we get our human bases on Mars, and you think Houston, not slow, Mars is more than 38,400 miles away. So, obviously, it takes like a 30-minute for a conversation to go one way. So by the time my video is done of about 30 minutes, my video, and then especially for chat, like online chat, like Google Hangouts, you'll be sitting there. You might say a couple things like, "Hi, Grandma. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. My cats are good. I'm eating well. How are you doing?" So that would be 30 minutes. That goes to Grandma's house. Some of all the satellite links. Then she responds to me, "I'm glad to know that, dear. Are you sleeping good? Whatever." And then by the time they get back to me, that's 30 minutes later. So I'm getting that. And then, so there's like a 30-minute lag between me and my grandmother. That's ridiculous. You would think, well, that's where Twitter can come in nice. That's where non-interactive chat works out. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So the point is to have a cell phone tower at Mars may be great for with Mars to Mars calls, but I don't think it really do any good for trying to do a long-time communications to exoplanets. And the same thing with the moon. So once this Japanese company puts their cell phone tower on the moon, it's great for lunar calls. So if I want to call, say, from some base, say on the sea, by the Sea of Tranquility to some other base on the moon, then of course there's going to probably be more than one tower. But just for the sake, let's say there's like 2 or 3 towers to the network. That is it's gonna go pretty quick, just like it does on Earth. But if somebody from the Sea of Tranquility wants to call me in Winston, it's gonna be the same problem that I would run into with HughesNet. That is, it's still going to go through the satellites. It's going to go from the moon to the Earth-based satellite. More than likely, it's going to be Earth-based satellite. It's going to be involved. Then it's going to go to Earth ground station. Then it's going to go through fiber. Then it's going to go to my T-Mobile tower. Then it's going to send their voice and stuff to me. Then, likewise, I got to do the return data back to them, blah, 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 blah. But that's just a lot of steps. So, it's something to think about. All right, that's long enough. I think for now, I think you get the idea. We didn't exactly plan to make this thing so long. But, yeah, it always kind of shorter, right? In fact, I always said once you have enough filler. In this case, we got enough here. I could actually make this into 2 videos. I could have this as a tech video, and I could have this as a vlog. And that's might be what I might just do. I might just go ahead or in my electronic scissors and just break this into 2 parts. That way, for the text, when you hear about the tech stuff, you can watch the tech video. If you want to read the vlog stuff, you can watch the vlog stuff. Because of time and because it's already late, I want to go ahead and I'm going to upload the vlog part of it first, and then I'll work on the tech part next. All right, so thank you very much, guys, for watching this. See you soon. Bye bye.